The human brain contains about 80 to 90 billion neurons, each forming thousands of connections. And if you can understand how the brain actually works, you may be able to change your habits, your confidence, your emotions, everything, and improve your lifestyle overall. This is something that I tend to go over a lot in terms of my TikToks, and I said that if I hit 100K that I would make YouTube videos as well. I didn't actually think that I would hit the numbers that I hit as fast as I hit them, but I did hit 100K, so I have to keep my word. And here's my first YouTube video, so welcome. I hope you enjoy it here. I was thinking about different videos of like, what should I do for my first one? And a lot of people tend to ask me, how do you get into neuroscience? How do you start studying? And I thought maybe I could do a little series to kind of go over different neuroscience concepts and make it easier for people to get into neuroscience. It kind of depends on whether people enjoy the series or not. So we'll just start out with one video, and I'll link the resources that I use for this video down below. So hopefully you enjoy it, and if people seem to like it, I may continue this series. We'll see. But yeah, right now, for this video, I kind of wanted to go over neuroscience overall and just kind of have a very brief overview of everything. So hopefully you enjoy. To put it simply, neuroscience is the study of the brain, the nervous system, and what makes us conscious beings. According to Science News Today, it is the field that seeks to understand how a collection of cells, electricity, and chemicals give rise to memories, emotion, perception, and thoughts. Traditionally, it's been classified as a subdivision of biology. These days, it's more of an interdisciplinary study connected to other disciplines such as chemistry, engineering, computer science, medicine, philosophy, psychology, linguistics, and mathematics. Major branches of neuroscience include affective neuroscience, behavioral neuroscience, cognitive neuroscience, computational neuroscience, cultural neuroscience, developmental neuroscience, molecular and cellular neuroscience, and all of that. So much more. But in terms of why we study this and why the brain is important, the brain is a complex organ. It interprets senses, it controls behavior, it initiates movements in the body, and as a result of learning about the brain, you can better understand why things are the way they are, why you may be thinking the things that you're thinking, and from there be able to potentially improve that. Now, the brain and the rest of the central nervous system are composed of many cells, with the primary functional unit being a cell called a neuron. Neurons use electrical and chemical signals to send information throughout the brain and between the brain, the spinal cord, and the rest of the body. As a result of the signals that pass through neurons of different shapes, sizes, and functions, we're able to experience sensations, movements, memories, and feelings. The human brain, like I said before, has an average of 80 to 90 billion neurons, which is crazy, I know. And their cell bodies make up something called gray matter. Surrounding these neurons are even more special cells called glial cells, which protect the neurons that keep them working properly. Glial cells also create insulation around the neuron's long connections, which are called axons, and these are in the brain's white matter. The brain's surface is also full of folds, which form the sulci, which are the grooves, and the gyri, which are the ridges. These folds increase the brain's surface area, so more cells are able to fit inside the skull, and as a result, we're able to process more information. Now we're going to do a quick breakdown of the nervous system, because that is a part of neuroscience. So the nervous system's job is to receive stimuli from sensory receptors, send that information to the brain and the spinal cord, and then send the signals back to the body to produce a response. These signals travel through organized groups of specialized cells, mainly neurons, neural support cells, and bundles of nerve fibers. Together, these cells form a communication network that directly impulses to the place where a response is needed. And anatomically, we divide the nervous system into two main parts. We have the central nervous system, and we have the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system is the brain and the spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system are all the nerves that extend outward from the central nervous system. And we call it the peripheral nervous system because it's located beyond the brain and the spinal cord. It's peripheral. So in terms of different major brain regions, there are many. But the first one that I'll go over is the cerebrum, and this is the upper part of the brain. It includes the cerebral cortex, and it handles many key functions such as thinking, emotions, problem solving, learning, and overall personality. There's also the cerebral cortex, which is the outer layer of the cerebrum. It's made of gray matter where the brain processes information, and the cerebral cortex is divided into 4 lobes: the frontal lobe, the temporal lobe, the parietal lobe, and the occipital lobe. The frontal lobe is involved in decision-making, movement, personality, and other higher thinking skills. The temporal lobe is for understanding language. It also processes memory, information, hearing, and parts of visual perception. The parietal lobe interprets sensory information, including what we see, what we hear, what we feel, all of that. And the occipital lobe processes visual information containing the visual cortex. The right hemisphere of the cerebral cortex controls the left side of the body, and the left side controls the right side of the body. The 2 hemispheres communicate through the corpus callosum, which is like this thick band of white matter that connects them. Next brain region is the cerebellum. The cerebellum sits beneath the cerebrum at the back of the head. It helps the body stay balanced and coordinated. It supports learned movement, precision, accurate timing, all of that. It doesn't initiate movements itself, but studies suggest that it has roles in learning and decision making. Next we have the brainstem. The brainstem is made of the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla. It connects the cerebrum to the spinal cord and helps control many core body functions. So the midbrain supports hearing, movement, eye movement, and tracking objects. It also helps with the body reacting to changes in the environment, including potential threats. The pons controls several functions such as producing tears, blinking, focusing, vision, balancing, and making facial expressions. 4 cranial nerves begin here and connect to the face, the neck, and the upper body. And then we have the medulla, which manages essential survival functions like heart rhythm, blood flow, and breathing. It monitors oxygen and carbon dioxide levels in the blood and triggers reflexes such as vomiting, swallowing, and coughing. Now, how does neuroscience matter for daily life, and how can we improve life as a result of neuroscience? This is kind of where I typically talk about different neuroscience topics in order to get into the improvement for your life and self-improvement overall. But as a result of learning about the brain, you can learn about how habits form in the brain, why motivation fluctuates, why your emotions may feel a certain way, why they may be overwhelming, how memory and learning actually works, what makes someone focused versus distracted, and everything like that. It gives you a very comprehensive overview of why you may be feeling what you're feeling, as well as detailed reasonings for why you're feeling what you're feeling and how you can improve it. It takes a lot of studying for sure, but it is definitely possible, and as a result of learning things, your life does genuinely improve. Like I said, I am no professional by any means. I'm just someone who likes to study for fun, and I like reading a lot of articles. To be honest with you, like I said, I have those articles linked down below if you would like to learn about anything that I went over. And I don't want to make this complicated in terms of neuroscience because I understand that it can be quite difficult in the beginning. I know, because I studied on my own, and that was honestly quite challenging. I thought it was very fun, so I kept going and I kept pushing, but I would study like 10 hours a day, so I totally get how it could be difficult. Hopefully through these videos and the videos that I have on TikTok, you'll be able to learn a little bit more about neuroscience and improve yourself and apply neuroscience in a way that you can use it for day-to-day life. That'd be so good if possible. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will hopefully see you soon. Maybe we'll do some like study vlogs or something like that. Maybe continue the series if you guys enjoy it. Or I don't know, if there's any other videos that you want to see, I'm more than happy to try to see if I can make that happen. So yeah, that's it for now, but talk soon. Bye.